Hi, my name is Jessica McQueen and I am a pre-service teacher at ACU Melbourne, and I'm currently in my fourth and final year of my degree. And as part of our EDAR422 subject, we had to work in a group of other pre-service teachers to complete an art installation that was based on a particular message. The message that my group received was from the Declaration of the Rights of the Child, 1959. We received Principle 4, which states, "The child shall enjoy the benefits of social security. He shall be entitled to grow and develop in health. To this end, special care and protection shall be provided to him and to his mother, including adequate prenatal and postnatal care. The child shall have the right to adequate nutrition, housing, recreation, and medical services." The Declaration of the Rights of the Child marked the first major international consensus on the fundamental principles of children's rights and was a historic document that recognized and affirmed for the first time the existence of rights specific to children and the responsibility of adults towards children. Therefore, it is the responsibility of adults to ensure these rights are met, which assist in assuring the safety and well-being of all children in the world. This declaration came out of the belief that due to children's physical and mental immaturity, they need special safeguards and care both before and after birth, as this allows the child to have a happy childhood. Initially, such policies were only targeted towards children who were at risk, such as orphans, abandoned and neglected children, and children from low social classes. However, later on these policies became concerned with all children, irrespective of their social origin or individual condition. To begin exploring this principle, we decided to look at all the different elements that it consisted of. We all agreed that the overall message was about the importance of social security for children. The different elements of this principle include medical services, including pre- and postnatal care, nutrition, housing, recreation, and growth and development. We then discussed how we could create an installation to show that children need all of these elements to grow and achieve their full potential, which is where the idea of the tree came in. On each of the branches, we decided to hang all the elements that help a child grow and to light up, such as food, school, housing, and family and friends. We then each took one of these elements and made and collected different items to signify our element. Then when it is put together, you can see the interrelationship between all the elements and how important social security is for a child's development. Out of the Declaration of the Rights of the Child came the notion of an ideal model of childhood, in which each individual child develops harmoniously and becomes an adult who is useful to society, was co-constructed at the international level by the broad dissemination of knowledge and methods to guarantee this ideal childhood. As future educators, it is imperative that we raise awareness of these injustices that children all over the world are facing, but also ensure that we are active in meeting the needs of the children who are in our own classroom. Principle 4 addresses the child's right to having access to basic needs such as appropriate nutrition, housing, and medical services. McHale and Caudle McHale explain attention to basic needs such as food supply, education, health, and housing has always been a strong component in traditional development and aid programs. However, there is still a large number of people, including children, all around the world who do not have access to these basic needs. We decided to install our site-specific installation in a primary school, therefore meaning our audience would be primary school-aged children. We decided that it was important for students to have an understanding of social security and what has an influence on this. We also believe that it is important for students to understand how these elements can differ between countries and how this can influence the social security that children all over the world experience. Fisher and MacDonald explain the call for curriculum integration with and through the arts is evident within many elementary school environments, with art specialists frequently asked to link their curriculum in the classroom to other content areas. However, teachers sometimes struggle to understand how to connect learning with the general curriculum while at the same time preserve the integrity of discipline-specific instruction in the arts. The aim is not to reduce the content of either the arts or other curriculum area, but to instead establish purposeful, integrated learning connections which are designed to increase student understanding, participation, enjoyment, and knowledge. I specifically looked at the personal and social capability and how it could be integrated in with the arts. This capability is essential in enabling students to understand themselves and others, and manage their relationships, lives, work, and learning more effectively. It involves students learning to recognize and regulate emotions, develop empathy for others and understand relationships, establish and build a framework for positive relationships, to work effectively in teams and develop leadership skills, and handle challenging situations constructively. A major focus in the personal and social capability is students learning to recognize and express emotions, develop their resilience, and gain an appreciation for diversity, whilst exploring the importance of different social relationships. Through this learning area, students learn to identify and manage their emotional responses in a range of different settings. Personal and social capability is linked to the arts curriculum in a number of ways. Through the arts curriculum, students are provided with multiple opportunities to recognize, name, and express emotions as they make and respond to various artworks. As art makers, performers, and audience members, students develop and apply personal skills and dispositions such as self-discipline, goal setting, and working independently, showing initiative, confidence, and resilience. Students have the opportunity to develop and practice social skills such as effective communication, collaboration, leadership, and making group decisions as they work with others. Through making and responding to artworks, students learn to empathize with the emotions, needs, and situations of others, to appreciate diverse perspectives, and to understand and negotiate different types of relationships. This is particularly relevant to my group's installation, as it can be used as a valuable teaching and learning resource to explore how people's lives can be different. Students can empathize how poor social security would have an impact on people's lives and their emotions. Another learning area that I explored was critical and creative thinking. The Melbourne Declaration on Educational Goals for Young Australians recognises that critical and creative thinking are fundamental to becoming successful learners. Critical and creative thinking capability focuses on the development of increasingly complex and sophisticated processes of thinking. Critical and creative thinking processes are fundamental to effective learning across the curriculum and are a necessary component in each learning area. It encourages students to think more broadly and deeply. The arts curriculum provides an invaluable platform to actively engage students in developing their critical and creative thinking capabilities, as being a critical and creative thinker is now recognized as being an essential component in achieving success in today's society. Critical and creative thinking is present in the arts curriculum as students are encouraged to become autonomous thinkers who interpret and determine the purpose of artwork for themselves. The curriculum encourages students to examine people's beliefs, values, and lives in the context of art, which means the visual arts curriculum is given a multidisciplinary focus. This allows for study and research to reach beyond the boundaries of the subject area. The critical and creative thinking curriculum is integrated with the arts curriculum in my group's installation as it can be used to respond to artworks as students learn to analyze traditional and contemporary artworks and identify possible meanings and connections with self and the community. This allows students to use artwork as a window into gaining understanding of the world and how people have varying levels of access to social security. Due to our art installation and my curriculum links having a strong focus on children's social development, I decided to look at two theories that are associated with this. Bronfenbrenner uses 4 circles to represent the different sets of factors that have an influence on a child's development. These are from inner to outer, microsystem, the child's immediate family and surroundings, mesosystem, broader surroundings and influences on the child's development, such as school and medical services, exosystem, people who indirectly influence the child, such as parents' workplace and services available to the family and support networks they are involved in. And finally, the macrosystem, an even broader system that includes the values, customs, and attitudes of the culture group that the child belongs to. This theory recognizes that there are different aspects which influence a child's development, which is also visible in our installation. Our installation demonstrates that there are a number of factors that account for and influence the development of a child. Bowes, Grace, and Hayes supports this by saying the ecology of human development involves the scientific study of the progressive mutual accommodation between an active growing human being and the changing properties of the immediate settings in which the developing person lives, as this process is affected by relations between these settings and by the larger context in which the settings are embedded. Vygotsky is a theorist who has had much influence on how we understand the cognitive and social development of children. He places great importance on the interaction and relationships formed between children and adults. Vygotsky believed that children's cognitive understandings were enriched and deepened when they were scaffolded by parents, teachers, and peers. Principle 4 from the Declaration of the Rights of the Child emphasizes the importance of the relationship between the mother and child, which Vygotsky argues is an essential component for the child's development. It is through this relationship that the child can grow and develop into an active community member. As my journey as a pre-service teacher comes to an end, this art installation has prompted me to reflect on how much I have learned over the past 4 years. I have developed the knowledge and skills in being able to take an important document, such as the Declaration of the Rights of the Child, and create a valuable teaching and learning resource. In addition, I am able to ensure that I integrate multiple learning areas together. An integrated curriculum approach allows educators to bring together the separate pieces of a curriculum into a coherent whole that facilitates meaningful associations across subject matter. Such an approach results in improving students' interpersonal skills, student engagement, and academic performance. I believe that this art installation is a fantastic way to showcase the growth in my skills, abilities, and knowledge over the past 4 years. Thank you.